This video is brought to you by TS4U IT Engineering Bootcamp.
With that, since the issues are similar, I would like to go over some of the experience. If you have we have started using the GitLab CI, as I mentioned. So if you can share, if you have part of the migration the project in between from Jenkins to GitLab CI, and then that would be great. Can you share?
Okay, yeah, sure. So basically, we had Jenkins all over, all of our on-prem deployments and cloud as well. And since recently we started to move to Kubernetes, where the container-based deployments, we basically started thinking about our changes in the pipeline as well, because using Jenkins is good, awesome, but Jenkins actually lacks the scaling performance, and we weren't there for Kubernetes, like integration in Kubernetes, since we are using the AWS EKS as our Kubernetes management solution from the AWS. So basically what we had that, okay, Jenkins is running all of our on-prem parts, and team actually took a decision that, okay, let's do all the jobs that are in on-prem. We basically deploy them with the Jenkins, and all the cloud-based jobs, let's deploy it with the GitLab CI, because it's just integrated already within our system. We just need to create a single file and create a bunch of runners, and we can just go with it. Okay, so we just ditched the compatibility with our cloud-based deployments with Jenkins and moved entirely to GitLab CI. So in terms of moving, it were very easy, because Jenkins had the complexity of writing Groovy scripts, right? So writing Groovy scripts sometimes can be hectic, because it's kind of a domain-specific language for Jenkins mostly, and everybody doesn't like them. Okay, and sometimes this gets complex when somebody just changes something on the Jenkins or the GitLab CI, and all the build fails, and nobody knows why. So in terms of the language, GitLab CI is more easy, because it just uses YAML files to maintain and manage all the deployments. And these are very easy to understand. And the most important thing is we can use Docker containers as our runner image or runner environment. So for this one, we basically were able to build our own runner images with Docker, so that for our Python applications, we built one runner image, so that, okay, all the Python dependencies are already there. We don't need to install them. Just use the existing runner and build the image, and you're good to go. And for the Java-based images, we also did the same. For the Node.js based things, we also did the same thing. We created multiple versions of the Docker images with multiple versions of the node, so that we can have the extensibility and versatility of the node, so that we can just use the specific image for specific project, and GitLab can run it anywhere, because it's running on Docker. So we don't have to exhaust our servers with a bunch of workers and the things. We can just specify for each job this image will be using. So yeah, that was a good thing to have. And the other one we got advantage with the GitLab CI is basically we could run the Kubernetes executor from Jenkins, from the GitLab CI, because for Jenkins, we needed to create the entire new virtual machine as a worker, so that it can run a bunch of jobs. Okay. But with the GitLab CI, we got the advantage that it can run the runner from the GitLab CI as a pod inside the Kubernetes cluster. So that was a very good thing to have, so that we didn't need to pay GitLab. We didn't need to create any EC2 instances to run our jobs. We could just connect our Kubernetes cluster to the GitLab CI, and then whenever a new job pipeline was running, it was running inside our Kubernetes cluster. And that also ensured the security as well, because our pipeline isn't running anywhere else. It's running inside our infrastructure, so that everything is within our control. Okay, so for that, reason, we basically were very happy to move to GitLab CI. It was easy to configure. It was running all of our like pipeline jobs inside the Kubernetes cluster as a pod. So we just needed to like increase the number of nodes so that our multiple jobs can run in parallel within our Kubernetes cluster. And that was the only thing we needed to do. And since we were using the EKS cluster, like scaling the nodes were very easy. Okay, so we actually didn't have to face a lot of challenges while migrating from Jenkins to GitLab CI. And now we have a bunch of systems that are running GitLab CI right now. Yeah.